Good morning from the forest. Good morning from me, Virgie, and Mooney. Rosalind is somewhere over here. Good morning and blessing. Oh, here's Peter. Good morning and blessing oh, he really wants to say hi. Good boy. Blessing the upcoming new moon in Virgo tomorrow for you. You are you blessing it too, Peter? Peter says, bless it up, bless it up. I wanted to chat with you a little bit about a phrase that I was inspired toward by my dear friend Emily, as well as my dear friend and mentor Regina of Wellspring Coaching, who I will link to down below. I'm in her sacred Envision container, and we had a wonderful call last night during which I reached a new connection of understanding around authenticity that feels like it integrates together my thoughts on self-care and boundaries, and realizing how much alone time I need in order to recharge, how much creative time I need, and finding that balance between being in community and being there with and for and in communion with many different people, and also finding time and space for my own creative dreams and projects that are asking to be birthed, as well as my rest and my pleasure. So the phrase that we came up with around this was authenticity of capacity. Authenticity of capacity. So for me, in the past, I think authenticity has meant something like sharing my realist, most absolute, unfiltered truth with everyone. And the reality is that I actually don't have the capacity for that. So a definition of authenticity that I also like, that I learned during the Wild Way Home, and I'll link to the podcast down below that I listened to, that I believe this was said in. I can't remember the man's name at all. I'll label it Authenticity Podcast. I believe his definition was authenticity is who you are when nobody else is looking. And so again, using this definition before, I felt like I had that to be authentic would be to show everyone all the time who I am when nobody else is looking. And the reality is that as much as that is a gift of mine to be able to courageously share my authenticity with others, hence these videos, that I don't always have the capacity to do that. And so when I push myself beyond my authenticity, as in maybe sometimes what I would do or need to do when nobody else is looking is just rest and just be, or just read, or be working on my creative things and be totally off my phone. So when I push myself beyond my capacity to be authentic, to share what is most me when nobody else is looking, then that's no longer authentic. And that's when things like resentment and really inauthenticity start to come in, and there's expectations around, like, I am living more by what I think other people's expectations are of me than what my actual capacity to be my realist and most authentic self is. And so I just wanted to invite this energy, this activation, this consideration into your life of capacity for authenticity and respecting that, and that authenticity isn't about showing everything about yourself to everyone, or showing everyone everything about yourself all the time, which again may seem obvious to some of you. Not obvious to me. Obvious to Rosalind, who is an expert in authenticity. She really is. That part of being authentic means finding that authenticity of your capacity and capacity to be authentic, and what that looks like. And so, wow. Animals can teach us a lot about authenticity. So I invite you to play around with part of authenticity being respecting your own capacity for what you can share. And again, sort of having that measure of like, what is my authenticity when nobody else is looking? Sometimes that authenticity for me is messaging 50 different people and planning a get together with 20 close friends and replying to 60 different emails and doing many things like that at once. And sometimes what it looks like is being off my phone alone in the forest, taking a whole day off my phone, just reading books instead of writing, and going to bed like I did last night at 8 p.m. and getting, somewhere between 8 and 10 hours of sleep. So authenticity isn't about always sharing with everyone everything about who you are, which is what I used to think. Authenticity is about coming to know what you most need when no one else is looking, and understanding your capacity for when that authentically looks like sharing with others, and when that authentically looks like putting up boundaries with others. Thanks for being here. Love you. Talk to you soon. Blessing that new moon.